Still 4:59. Oops, just now turned 5. Radhe Radhe. Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Shri Radha Bihari Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Shri Vrindavan Dham. Shri Gurudev ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Rupana Gauriya Guru Bharata ki jai, Pati Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachirandana Gaur Hari ki jai, Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Ramana Ju ki jai, Giriraj Mahārāja ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Kishori Mohan Prabhu was just saying, I wonder how Katie's doing, and you showed up today.
And she asked a question in a previous, you asked a question regarding the Mangalacharan. So I was planning on doing the traditional tune that we're all accustomed to.
Dandavat Pranam, all Vaishnavas.
And I was kind of hoping you would be there so you can do it with us. Dandavat Pranam. So we will be beginning with Mangalacharan, page 1 of this book, Shri Gauriya Kirti Guccha, Vandeham, Shri Guru, Shri Yuta Padakamalam. Oh, sorry, what? When it's ready. Oh, it's definitely high. Yeah, bring it.
Bring it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Sudevi playing mridanga. And let's see, do we have Jiva Pavana Prabhu? Are you there? Dandavat Pranam, Jiva Pavana Prabhu, already posted. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavāśṭa Shri Sagrajato Sahagana Nathanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvekam Samadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Balam Samagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamritaṁ-scha Om Ajnana-timirambhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Shri Krishna Lila Katane Sudaksham Audarya Madhuryam Naishchayutam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Nārāyaṇa Gandiram Bhakta Shiromanica Shri Krishna Padamrita Vritti Chaitanya Lila Vrita Sarasa Nārāyaṇa Tvam Satatam Prapadye Namo Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Vishnupadaya Gaurapreshthaya Bhutale Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Pragyāna Keshavo Nidamine Pativartyacharitraya Swashmitanam Chaparine Jivadukhe Sadarataya Shrinam Premadayine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabharani Devi Gaditaya Kripabhale Krishna Sambandha Vidyana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhurya Jvala Premabhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktivedānta Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanugam Virudhapa Siddhanta Khantaharine Namo Kishoraya Sakshat Vairanyamurtaye Vipralambhana Sambodhe Padam Jayate Namaha Namo Bhaktivedānta Satchidanandamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Gauravirbhava Bhume Swam Nirdeshta Sajanam Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannāthayate Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradvishe Namaha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dīnabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurāṅgi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatam Surato Pango Mama Mandam Matergati Matsarvasva Padam Bojo Radha Madanam Hanam Divyadvrindaratyakalpadrumadam Śrīmad-ratnāgāra Sinhāsanastho Shri Shri Radha Shri Govinda Deva Preshthānibhi Sevyamano Smaram Śrīmad-ra Sarasārambhi Vanshivata Tatastitah Karshannenu Svanargobhi Gopinatha Shrinestunaha Vrindaye Tulasi Devyaye Priyaye Keshavasya cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavataye Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupaswarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Cheto Darpanamarjanam Nava Mahādāvakti Nirvapanam Shreya Kairavachandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Mudivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Shvadanam Sarvadvan Sapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Harer Nam Harer Nam Harer Nam Eva Kevalam Kalo Nastyeva 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 Gati Nanyata Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sudevi, can you get me one of those allergy pills? Sorry. Okay.
Oh, the feathers close.
Sorry. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
There's a lot of mold.
So, Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya. By Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur. Page 32. I forgot I'm playing Mridanga. Excuse me. Sudevi, which one is that? Okay. kripa bindu diya koro edase trinapekayoti no kripa bindu diya koro edase trinapekayoti no kripa bindu. Let me start that again. I'm having a problem with the rag. I'm going to go without it today. Okay. No, not fully today, just for now. Gurudev Kripa bindu diya koro edase trinapekayoti no Kripa bindu diya koro edase trinapekayoti no sakala sahane baladiya koro sakala sahane baladiya koro nijamane sprihahi no nijamane sprihahi no Gurudev kripa bindu trinapekayoti no kripa bindu diya koro edase trinapekayoti no sakale saman korite shakati dehonatha jatha jatha sakale saman korite shakati dehonatha jatha jatha tabe to gaibo hari nama sukhe tabe to gaibo hari nama sukhe aparadha habe hato aparadha habe hato Gurudev kripa bindu diya koro edase trinapekayoti no kripa bindu diya koro edase trinapekayoti no kabehe no kripa lobhiya e jano kritartha hoibe nato kabehe no kripa lobhiya e jano kritartha hoibe nato shakti buddhi namiyati din shakti buddhi amiyati din koro more atma sato koro more atma sato Gurudev kripa bindu diya koro edase trinapekayoti Yogyata vichare kichu nahi pai Tumaro karuna saro Yogyata vichare kichu nahi pai Tumaro karuna saro Karuna na hoile kadiya kadiya Karuna na hoile kadiya kadiya Prano na rakhibo aro Prano na rakhibo aro Gurudev kripa bindu diya kurue dase Trinavekayoti kripa bindu diya kurue dase Trinavekayoti Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Guru Parampara 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 Srila Gurudeva ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai Shri Guru Parampara ki jai Oh, we can try it, but I thought it might be helpful for others also to keep on tune when you have the drone going on in the background, because I assume that you're all also singing in the repeat, or maybe the leads. Now we will call for the mercy of the Vaishnavas. Thakura Vaishnava Pada Avanir Susampada. I was just thinking, Krishnadas never needed a harmonium, never needed a keyboard or anything. He was, how do you say? Completely independent. And the moment I was thinking that, his wife just was now trying to call me. So that's pretty cool. But I can't accept her phone call at the moment. So Thakura Vaishnava Pada by Śrīla Narottam Das Thakur, page 38. Thakur Vaishnava Pada Avaniro Susampada ঠাকুর বৈষ্ণব পদ অবনীর সুসম্পদ শুনো ভাই হইয়া এক মন শুনো ভাই হইয়া এক শুনো ভাই হইয়া এক শুনো ভাই হইয়া এক আশ্রয় লইয়া ভজে তারে কৃষ্ণ নাহি ত্যজে আশ্রয় লইয়া ভজে তারে কৃষ্ণ নাহি ত্যজে আর সব মোরে অকারণ আর সব মোরে অকারণ বৈষ্ণব চরণ প্রেম ভক্তি দিতে বল বৈষ্ণব চরণ প্রেম ভক্তি দিতে বল আর কেহ নহে বলবন্ত আর কেহ নাহে বলবন্ত বৈষ্ণব চরণ রেণু মস্তকে ভূষণ বেণু বৈষ্ণব চরণ রেণু মস্তকে ভূষণ বেণু আর নাহি ভূষণের অন্ত আর নাহি ভূষণের অন্ত তীর্থ জল পবিত্র গুণে লিখিয়াছে পুরাণে তীর্থ জল পবিত্র গুণে লিখিয়াছে পুরাণে সে সব ভক্তির প্রবঞ্চন সে সব ভক্তির প্রবঞ্চন বৈষ্ণবের পাদোদক সমনা হে সম বৈষ্ণবের পাদোদক সমনা হে সম যাতে হই বাঞ্ছিত পূরণ যাতে হই বঞ্চিত পূরণ বৈষ্ণব সঙ্গেতে মন আনন্দিত অনুসন বৈষ্ণব সঙ্গেতে মন আনন্দিত অনুসন সদা হই কৃষ্ণ পর সঙ্গ 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 দীন নর তম কান্দে হিয়া ধরিও নাহি বান্ধে দীন নর তম কান্দে হিয়া ধরিও নাহি বান্ধে মোর দশা কেন হইল ভঙ্গ Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya 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 Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Prabhu Kripa Koro, More Doya Koro, Prabhu Kripa Koro, More Doya Koro, Prabhu Kripa Koro, More Doya Koro, Prabhu Kripa Koro, More Doya Koro. Vaishnava Thakur ki Jai. See, Jiva Pavana Prabhu is sharing the nectar. So make sure you avail yourself of the opportunity to take advantage of the beautiful nectar that he is inspired to share. Now we will call out for the mercy of Sri Rupa Goswami. And this one we're going to use the Tanpura because I know the name of the rag. It's called Malkons. Yang Kalirupa Sharira Nadharata. Page 47 by Sri Madhava Das, Yang Kali Rupa Sharira Nadharata. So I did not realize it or know it at the time, but the first time I was introduced to this rag was when I was about 7 or 8 years old in Gurukul, and Bayasaki Prabhu had just come back from India sharing so many new tunes. At the time he didn't know apparently that it was not actually appropriate for Gaudiya Vaishnavas or anyone for that matter to sing Radhe Radhe Shyam Se Milade, but it was in there, so now we just say Radhe 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 Shri Krishna Radhe Radhe. Radhe 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 Shri Krishna Radhe 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 Ghanashyama Radhe Radhe. And then the next time I was introduced to it, which I didn't realize at the time, was when Ganga Devi landed in the head of Lord Shiva in Sita Swayamvar. Sita Swayamvar, the wedding of Sita to Ram. What a beautiful rendition. Anyhow, when Ganga Devi came and then she was trapped, then she was feeling like she couldn't get out and she was singing this rag. But it's not about the rag, but the rag can enhance the mood of the bhajan, so the prayer can continue. This one can be sung in many different rags, but the one that was normally sung for this bhajan was Malkons, and Srila Gurudev expressed so much affection for this particular bhajan. He loved it, especially when Krishna Das Prabhu would sing it. So, Yang Kali Rupa Shariro Nadharata, 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 Tan Braja Prema Mahārāja विरहंसनो पान विधायनो विरतिरो हंसनो पान विधायनो कौन पृथक् करिपायतो कौन पृथक् करिपायतो ओ सब त्याजी भजी वृंदावन ओ सब त्याजी भजी वृंदावन ओ सब ग्रंथ विरचित ओ सब ग्रंथ विरचित यं कलियुग शरीरनाथातो यं कलियुग शरीरनाथातो जब पितृवानो पुनो पलकनानो विधो जब पितृवानो पुनो पलकनानो विधो मनोराजी आरुविन्द मनोराजी आरुविन्द सोमधुकरुविनु पारकोनु जानत सोमधुकरुविनु पारकोनु जानत दिव्यमानो परिबन्ध विद्यमानो परिबन्ध यं कलियुग शरीरनाथातो यं कलियुग शरीरनाथातो ओ जानतो मथुरा वृन्दावनो ओ जानतो मथुरा वृन्दावनो ओ जानतो रजनीको ओ जानतो रजनीतो ओ जानतो राधा माधवरती ओ जानतो राधा माधवरती ओ जानतो सोमित्रित ओ जानतो सोमित्रित यं कलियुग शरीरनाथातो यं कलियुग शरीरनाथातो जाकर चरण प्रसादे सकल जनो जाकर चरण प्रसादे सकल जनो गाय गवाय सुख पावतो गाय गवाय सुख पावतो चरण कमले शरणागतो माधो चरण Gosvāmī Pāda Ki Jai, Śrī Sanātana Gosvāmī Pāda Ki Jai, Śrī Sat Gosvāmī Prabhu Ki Jai. As I was singing Rupa Hai Prabhu Hai, I remembered something sweet from Srila Bhakti Kamal Govinda Mahārāja. So, once he was telling us that Srila Rupa Goswami noticed something, and he was wondering why. There was a very expert singer, a Muslim singer, who was singing, and Govinda dropped his garland. And this person didn't have faith in Govinda necessarily, but anyhow, he was an expert, very good singer. And the garland dropped. So Rupa Goswami was quite concerned. How is it that you're giving your garland to him? He doesn't have any devotion for you. And Krishna said to him, I also like good music. He said, his singing was so sweet, I had to give something. So I don't know what the source of that was, but it was still very cute. I remembered it at that moment. It was very charming, very sweet. So, anyhow, our Srila Prabhupada, he never, in any of his books, endeavored to convert anyone. He was saying, whatever path you're following, just follow it properly. If you're a Christian, be a good Christian. But whatever you're doing, you should serve and worship God. If you're a Muslim, be a good Muslim. If you're a Vaishnava, be a good Vaishnava. Follow your process, but follow it well and serve God. So he was always saying, we're not trying to convert or change anyone. We just want to inspire you to follow properly. Don't kill the animals. And chant the names of the Lord. There's also, historically, when we travel around places in Vrindavan, there was one Muslim singer, I think his name was Rasa Khan. Yes. And he's famous in our Gaudiya Vaishnava lineage because he was singing for Krishna, although he was born and raised in that family. And of course we know someone else who was born and raised in that family who was also singing for Krishna, chanting Krishna's names, 3 lakhs of Harinam every day, and that is Sri Haridas Thakur. So wherever one is, if they are dovetailing their energy and trying to, from wherever they're at, serve the Lord, then this is accepted by the Lord. And the Lord makes arrangements for any sincere soul to progress on the path of devotion. Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja explained that even if someone is completely ignorant and does not know anything, and they're out in the middle of nowhere having heard nothing, but they want to know the truth, and they're sincerely calling out from their heart, and they may even pick up any piece of grass or straw, and to this straw they're praying, if there is somebody, if there is something, can you hear me? Please, I want to know the truth. Please help me. He said Krishna is present everywhere, and he will arrange the necessary association, hearing that sincere prayer, to be able to help that person progress from where they're at. So we shouldn't think that it's only possible to progress for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. We had to start somewhere. It may have been that we were a bacteria. Yes, we were. Many, many, many millions of times. Guaranteed. And many different kinds as well. And one of those times, some prasadam or 1 grain of prasadam was there, or maybe went down the drain, and we took that prasadam. And then we were able to progress from there and come to the human form of life with that agyata sukriti, unknown spiritual merit. Gradually. And then more will come, and more will come, and more will come. And then by the time one meets with a Sadguru, and let's say that Sadguru departs from our vision, because one has endeavored so much under their guidance, another Vaishnava like him will manifest, and another one, and it will start coming more and more and more, until we arrive at what Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj calls the land of gurus. right? At one point we will understand that everything, everywhere is teaching us. In Śrīmad Bhagavatam, 24 examples have been given. The 24 gurus in nature. But that's only a slight slice of the idea. Actually, one will see Tang Sarva Bhuta Hridayam Munimanatosmi. She's trying to call back again. Tang Sarva Bhuta Hridayam Munimanatosmi. Śrī Sutta Goswami is glorifying Śrī Shukadev Goswami. That I see my Gurudev present within the heart of every living entity. Tang Sarva Bhuta Hridayam Munimanatosmi. Everywhere I see my Gurudev present. So I'm able to, in essence, receive that instruction from every little thing in all of creation. What lesson is there in this for me? This doesn't negate the necessity for bhajan shiksha guru. But still, one will see their guru present everywhere. And one will be able to accept instruction from almost anything. And then, of course, as Srila Bhaktivedānta Sridhar Maharaj said, this is the land of exploitation, that is the land of dedication. And he also called it the land of gurus, because every person there is completely 100% dedicated in the service of Krishna. 100%, without any smidgen of selfish self-interest. So everyone there is saturated with prema. They are weighted, heavy with divine love and affection for Krishna. And so every single person is, in essence, guru. They're all capable of bringing anyone from the darkness to the light, and they are heavy with love and affection for Krishna. Now we will call upon the mercy of Shri Nityananda Prabhu. Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Rai, page 60. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Advaita Gadadharo Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Rai Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Rai Abhimano Shunya Nitai Nagare Berai द्वारे द्वारे गिया धम्मपतित जीवे द्वारे द्वारे गिया हरिनाम महामंत्रो दिच्छेन बिलाया हरिनाम महामंत्रो दिच्छेन जारे देखे तारे कोहे तंते तृणधोरी जारे देखे तारे कोहे तंते तृणधोरी आमारे की नियालो हो बोलो गौर हरि आमारे की नियालो हो बोलो गौर हरि ए तो बोली नित्यानंद घूमे गरी जायो ए तो बोली नित्यानंद घूमे गरी जायो सोनारो कत जेनो झुलाते रोता सोनारो कत जेनो झुलाते रोता हेनो यव तारे जा रतिना जन्मिलो हेनो यव तारे जा रतिना जन्मिलो लोचन बोले से पापी एलो यारो गेलो लोचन बोले से पापी एलो यारो गेलो अक्रोध परमानंद नित्यानंद अक्रोध परमानंद नित्यानंद अभिमानो शून्य निताय नगरे बेरा 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 निताय हे 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 ओ जय निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग जय निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग जय निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग जय निताय गौरांग पतित पावन श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। In the yellow songbook, it says in verse 1, Baladev Prabhu and Lakshman get angry, but not Nityananda. Well, this is one of the reasons why it is said Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda. Krodha means anger, and Akrodha means not angry. So we've seen Baladev Prabhu in Dwarka, when he got so angry, he was dragging, which river was that? The Jamuna? With his plow? Or the Ganga? The whole place was like an earthquake. And also he became upset when he saw that Krishna tapped his thigh, that Bhima should smash the thigh of Baladev's disciple, Duryodhan. Because Duryodhan had smacked that same thigh and told Draupadi to come and sit on his thigh in front of her husbands because he had won everything in the possession of Yudhishthira Maharaj. So in front of all of these great warriors and the 5 Pandavas, Duryodhan is like, Bhima said, I promise I will smash that thigh. So he had to follow through with his promise. So Krishna told Bhima, because Krishna made it that Duryodhan would actually wear a small gamsha so that his mother wouldn't see him naked when she wanted to bless him and strengthen his body. So Krishna knew that's his weak point. So he told Bhima to smash that point on Duryodhan when they were fighting. And then Baladev Prabhu became angry and just left that place. Also, when he came to Vrindavan, and he was performing Rasalila at Ramghat, Jai Ramghat, Jaya Rohini Nandan, Jaya Vrindavan Vasi Jatajan. So there at Ramghat, as they were doing Ras, he desired that everyone would also be able to cool down. They were remembering Krishna in separation. But Jamuna was very far away from there. So Baladev took his plow and dragged her close. So you can see even on the map, she's flowing like this and suddenly, whew, like that. So there was some anger, although he was intoxicated transcendentally with Varuni, transcendental Varuni. This is their right. There is no negative effect. Whereas for us, there is negative effect not only for the body, but also for the mind and the spirit. So we should not take spirits thinking that we are like Balaram. We are not. We are the servants of Balaram and Krishna. So Lakshman also, he got really upset, really angry when Ram, in essence, made him bring Sita to the forest while she was pregnant with twins and drop her off nearby some sage's cottage. He was really upset. It is said that as Lakshman, because of this, that he didn't want to come back as the younger brother anymore. So he came back as Baladev Prabhu, elder, Nityananda Prabhu, elder, senior. He didn't want to be made to do anything like that again. So, but there's a speciality in Nityananda Prabhu. You can see through the pastime of Jagai Madai what happened to him. Again and again, he was always trying to get these two to chant the holy names of the Lord and to give up their bad activities, Nishid Achar, to give up those bad activities, Durachar activities. And then they would chase him and Haridas Thakur away, and they both go running. It is said with their feet on their heads. That's an Indian saying, meaning as fast as you could, taking your feet on your head, almost running over yourself. They would run away and laugh. And then again the next day they would go back and try to get these two to give up their aparads or their bad activities and to take to the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Again and again they would be chased away. One of these days, Haridas Thakur was able to escape, but Nityananda Prabhu was not. They threw one of those pots, liquor pots, at him, and it hit him in the head, and it split his head, and he was bleeding. And he did not become angry. Who became angry? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry. Nityananda Prabhu felt sorry for them, and he wanted to give them the greatest thing. But look at what Mahaprabhu did. He took it, this has been an aparad, an offense to my nearest and dearest, Nitai. And so he was screaming, calling for chakra, chakra, like this. Nityananda Prabhu stopped him. No, no, no. This is not what you have come for. In other pastimes, in other avatars, maybe you came to kill the demons. But you cannot kill everyone in Kali Yuga. There's demon and devotee in both. If you will kill the demonic aspect within them and allow the devotee to thrive and grow, then your glories will truly be known. So he petitioned Mahaprabhu on behalf of these two who had caused him physical damage. Not only did he not become angry, but he was so merciful. I think this is where Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, now I'm just saying I think, he said every selfless welfare worker of Gaudiya Math should be ready and willing to expend a minimum of 200 gallons of their own blood for the spiritual upliftment of each individual jiva of this world. And Nityananda Prabhu is bleeding and still he's petitioning on their behalf for their benefit. And because of that, Mahaprabhu gave them his mercy. Although we have seen at other times when Nityananda Prabhu shows some kind of anger, but we should understand that it is actually not anger, it is mercy, like what he did to Shivananda Sain. Shivananda Sain was traveling, there was a traveling party with Nityananda Prabhu, and he was supposed to make arrangements in advance, and somehow, I don't remember the details, but anyhow Nityananda Prabhu became apparently upset and kicked him in the chest, and Shivananda Sain began dancing in happiness. Today I have received my perfection by receiving the blessings of the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Prabhu upon my body. So, for any great personality, even though it might appear that they have lost control and they might be angry, in this case we can also apply it to Lakshman or Baladev Prabhu, it is all transcendental, but here it is said, Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Rai. Because his particular mood is not just for himself or his pastimes or in essence just for Krishna, but our Gurudev said that Baladev Prabhu, Nityananda Prabhu has a special, specific inclination toward the jivas of this world. Because we are like his children. We have come in essence from him. And so he has a special inclination toward us. We also have a similar nature to him. What is his nature? He is not acting as the Vishayi, as the enjoyer. Rather, he is, although he's capable of it, but every particle of his being is made of loving service to the Lord, to Krishna. So he is within the role of Ashray Tattva also, although he is still considered Vishay Tattva, but his mood, his bhav is Ashray. And that is also what our mood is. And so therefore we cannot even attain the mercy of Mahaprabhu without the shelter and mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. By his mercy we can attain the shelter of Mahaprabhu. By his mercy we can attain the shelter of Radha and Krishna. So lucky for us, it is said that he is never angry, even though we might deserve it. Still, he is full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls, and that is us, or me at least. And so we have so much hope because of his moods of not being angry. Also it says he's devoid of all false ego. He has no false ego. He's only pure ego, transcendental ego, and his ego is made of loving service to Krishna. And so his nature is to engage all souls. He sees beyond all of the inadequacies. We see this in so many of our bhajans. Adosha Darashi Prabhu. Oh Vaishnava Thakur, you don't see the faults of others. They only want to try to help us. Imagine if they saw all of our faults and then judged us based on that. Not only this life, last life, the one before, and the 10 trillion or quadrillion before that. We wouldn't stand a chance. But despite our disqualifications, despite our complete absorption and attachment to all things material, they look at us, they see us for our potential, and they endeavor with great effort to awaken that potential of loving service to Krishna. And that is what we call causeless mercy, because there was nothing we have done to attain that, but still they want to give it. So from our side, what is the cause? But still they want to give it, and by them giving it, they've awakened something more within us, and that will be a craving for more. And that is known as lolyam. Tatra lolyam apimulyam ekalam, the root qualification for Krishna Bhakti Rasa. Gaurangera Dutipada Jara Dhana Sampada, page 74. This is by Śrīla Narottam Das Thakur. Gaurangero Dutipada Jardhana Sampada Gaurangero Dutipada Jardhana Sampada Gaurangero Dutipada Jardhana Sampada Gaurangero Dutipada Jardhana Sampada Se jane bhakti rasam se jane bhakti rasam Gaurangero madhur leela jar karne praveshila Gaurangero madhur leela jar karne praveshila hridoya nirmala bhelota Jai Gaurangere Namara Tar hoy premada Jai Gaurangere Namara Tar hoy premada Tare Nitya jana bhakti adhikari se jana bhakti adhikari gorangero sangigane nitya siddha korimane gorangero sangigane nitya siddha korimane se jai brajendra suto se jai brajendra suto Śrī Mandal Pari Jeva jane chintamani Śrī Mandal Pari Jeva jane chintamani tar hoy braj bhume star hoy braj bhume gora prema rasarnave se karange jevarube gora prema rasarnave se karange jevarube se radha madhava antaranga se radha madhava antaranga grihe vamone the thake ha gaurango bole rake grihe vamone the thake ha gaurango bole rake narottama mage taro sango narottama mage taro sango narottama mage taro sango narottama mage taro sango gorangero duti pada jardhano sampadam gorangero duti pada jardhano sampadam se jane bhakti rasa se jane bhakti rasa gora he gora Purushottam Shachinandana Gaur Hari Ki Jai. I think we should all say Ha Gauranga. Ha Gauranga. Narottam Das begs for your association if you just say that, because it says whether you live at home or in the forest. Griheva bone te thake, Ha Gauranga bole dake, Narottama mage tar sanga. If Narottam is begging for your association, that means you might get his association. So we're really hoping for that. I'm feeling like Bandhu Sange Jarita Varanga Parihas. Bandhu Sange Jaritava 1, 2, 4. By an unknown author, but it is based on the prayer written by Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī, Smeram Bhangi Traya Parichitam Shakti Vishtirna Drishtim, which can be found in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, starting Smeram, S-M-E-R-A-M. And that word bhangi, which they use in India to mean sweepers, because they're always bent over sweeping or cleaning, is also a name or a word referred to in terms of Krishna, because he is also bent in 3 places. Shyamam Tribhanga, Tribhanga, Bhanga, Tribhanga Bhangima Rupa, Bangshidhari Aparupa, and Shyamam Tribhanga Lalitam. Here, where is it? It must be in there. Yes, Kiba Tribhangama Tam. If you do not have the songbook, just scroll to the most recent post of Jiva Pavana Prabhu, and there you will find the bhajan along with its translations, frequently followed by beautiful commentaries of our acharyas pertinent to these subject matters. So, thank you, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. Bandhu sange jadi tava ranga parihas. Bandhu sange jadi tava ranga parihas. Thake abhilash, thake abhilash. Thake abhilash, thake abhilash. Bandhu sange jadi tava ranga parihas. 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 Thake abhilash, thake abhilash. Thake abhilash, thake abhilash. Bandhu যেও না গো মথুরায় কেশী তীর্থ ঘাটের সকাশ মথুরায় কেশী তীর্থ ঘাটের সকাশ বন্ধু সঙ্গে যদি তব রঙ্গ পরিহাস বন্ধু সঙ্গে যদি তব রঙ্গ পরিহাস গোবিন্দ বিগ্রহ ধরি তথায় অচ্ছেন্ন হরি গোবিন্দ বিগ্রহ ধরি তথায় অচ্ছেন্ন হরি নয়নে বঙ্কিম দৃষ্টি মুখে মন্দহাস নয়নে বঙ্কিম দৃষ্টি মুখে মন্দহাস ইবা ত্রিভঙ্গমথাম বর্ণ সমুজ্জ্বল শ্যাম ইবা ত্রিভঙ্গমথাম বর্ণ সমুজ্জ্বল শ্যাম নব কিশলায় শোভা শ্রী অঙ্গে প্রকাশ নব কিশলায় শোভা শ্রী অঙ্গে প্রকাশ বন্ধু সঙ্গে যদি তব রঙ্গ পরিহাস বন্ধু সঙ্গে যদি তব রঙ্গ পরিহাস অধরে বংশিতা অনর্থের মূলাধার অধরে বংশিতা অনর্থের মূলাধার শিখি চূড়া কে ভাই করোনা বিশ্বাস শিখি চূড়া কে ভাই করোনা বিশ্বাস বন্ধু সঙ্গে যদি তব রঙ্গ পরিহাস বন্ধু সঙ্গে যদি তব রঙ্গ পরিহাস সে মূর্তি নয়নে হেরে কেহ নাহি ঘরে ফিরে 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 সংসারী গৃহের যে গো হয়ে সর্বনাশ সংসারী গৃহের যে গো হয়ে সর্বনাশ মোর মনে বড় ত্রাস মনে বড় ত্রাস তাই মোর মনে বড় ত্রাস মনে বড় ত্রাস ঘটিবে বিপদ ভারী যেও না কো হে সংসারী ঘটিবে বিপদ ভারী যেও না কো হে সংসারী মথুরায় কেশী তীর্থ ঘাটের সকাশ মথুরায় কেশী তীর্থ ঘাটের সকাশ বন্ধু সঙ্গে যদি তব রঙ্গ পরিহাস বন্ধু তব রঙ্গ পরিহাস বন্ধু সঙ্গে যদি তব রঙ্গ পরিহাস বন্ধু সঙ্গে যদি তব রঙ্গ পরিহাস তাকে অভিলাষ তাকে অভিলাষ তাকে অভিলাষ তাকে অভিলাষ বন্ধু সঙ্গে যদি তব রঙ্গ পরিহাস 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 কৃষ্ণ হে 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 ও কৃষ্ণ হে কৃষ্ণ হে কৃষ্ণ হে কৃষ্ণ হে ও কৃষ্ণ হে কৃষ্ণ হে কৃষ্ণ হে কৃষ্ণ হে श्री राधा गोविंद जू की जय राधा विनो बिहारी जू की जय Now we will call out for the mercy of Srimati Radhika. Radha Kripakataksha Stavaraja Munindra Vrinda Vandite Triloka Shoka Harini. Page 285. I know I've told you before, but there might be a couple other or different viewers or listeners. So this here says, spoken by Lord Shiva, and it is found in the Urdhvam Naya Tantra. And in previous books it said, spoken by Lord Shiva to Uma. So this is his consort. By the way, I heard today was Uma Didi's birthday. Does anyone know if that's true? I saw a bunch of shoes out in front of her door today. So, Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja spoke. And I remember sitting there in Rup Sanatan Gaudiya Math when he spoke this. And I was quite surprised, and also it made a very deep impression within my heart. He said, this description of Srimati Radhika, this particular Ashtakam is like the sound form of Srimati Radhika. And he said this vision of Radhika could not have been had by Lord Shiva. So Srila Gurudev expressed that he must have heard it from the mouth of Sri Rupa and is repeating it as Harikatha. I was like, whoa. Because to have this kind of darshan, it is too intimate and too deep. The Gurudev recognizes this because Gurudev is of that nature. He said, Lord Shiva could not have had this darshan of Srimati Radhika. So as Gopishwar, Mahadev, she would have overheard it as Harikatha from the mouth of Sri Rupa Manjari. And then as Shankar or Shiva is repeating this Harikatha to Uma, this glorification of Srimati Radhika. And when anyone chants this, Krishna becomes extremely pleased and extremely happy. And then when he comes and stands in front of you, yes, I'm so happy with you. What do you want? What do you say? Anyone else, since you can't hear her? What do you say when Krishna comes and stands in front of you and says, I'm so happy with you? What do you want? Come on, anyone. 2 samosas with tamarind chutney. A bowl of very hot gulab jamuns. And a bowl of rasamalai. And Sudevi is offering some zucchini. Steamed? And steamed zucchini. How about that? Very good. Ramananda Jai. Haribol, Haribol, Radha Dasyam. You guys, let me just say, Srila Gurudev would be so pleased that you know what to say if Krishna ever stood in front of you. So now we will call this out. But it's pretty amazing, isn't it? Srila Gurudev spoke that. It must have been that he overheard it from the mouth of Sri Rupa, as she's glorifying Srimati Radhika's form and beauty, and he's telling it as Harikatha. Vrishabhananandini Srimati Radharani ki Jai. Munindra Vrindavandite Triloka Shoka Harini Prasanna Vapra Pankaje Nikunja Bhuvilasini Brajendra Bhanu Nandini Brajendra Sunu Sangate Kadakaresha Sihanam Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam Ashoka Vriksha Vallari Vitano Mandapastite Pravalva निरन्तरं वशीकृता प्रतीतिनन्दनन्दने कदा करिष्यसि हम कृपाकटाक्षभाजनं सुवर्ण चम्पक प्रदीप्त गौरविग्रहे मुखप्रभापराष्टकोटि शारदेन्दुमण्डले विचित्रचित्रसञ्चर चकोरशावलोचने कदा करिष्यसि हम कृपाकटाक्षभाजनं मदोन्मदाति यौवने प्रमोदमानमन्दिते प्रियानुरागरञ्जिते कलाविलासपण्डिते अनन्यधन्य कुञ्जराज कामकेलि कोविदे कदा करिष्यसि हम कृपाकटाक्षभाजनम् अशेषभाव भावधीर धीरहारभूषिते प्रभूतशातकुम्भकुम्भ कुम्भिकुम्भसुस्तनि प्रशस्तमन्दहास्यचूर्ण पूर्णसोऽप्यसागरे कदा करिष्यसि हम कृपाकटाक्षभाजनं मृणाल्लवल्लवल्लरि तरङ्गरङ्गदुर्लते लताग्रलास्यलोलनील लोचनावलोकने लल्लल्लुलं तिलन्मनोज्ञ मुग्धमोहनाश्रिते कदा करिष्यसि हम कृपाकटाक्षभाजनं सुवर्णमालिकाञ्चितं त्रिलेखकं भूकण्ठवि त्रिसूत्रमङ्गलीगुण त्रिरत्नदीप्तिदीप्ति सल्लोलनील कुन्तलप्रसूनगुच्छगुम्फिते कदा करिष्यसि हम कृपाकटाक्षभाजनं नितम्बविन्दलं नमान पुष्पमेखलागुणे प्रशस्तरत्न किङ्किणीकलापमध्यमञ्जुले रवीन्द्रशृङ्ग दम्बिकावरोहशोभ गोरुके कदा करिष्यसि हम कृपाकटाक्षभाजनम् अनेकमन्त्रनादमञ्जु नूपुररवस्खलत् समाजराजहंसवंश निघ्वनाति गौरवे विलोलहेमवल्लरी विलम्बे चारुचङ्क्रमे कदा करिष्यसि हम कृपाकटाक्षभाजनम् अनन्तकोटि विष्णुलोक नम्रपद्मजार्चिते हिमाद्रिजापुलोमजा विरिञ्चजावरप्रभि अपारसिद्धि रिधिदिग्ध सत्पदाम्बुलीनखे कदा करिष्यसि हम कृपाकटाक्षभाजनम् Samstavam Nishamya Bhanunandini Karotu Sankatam Janam Kripakataksha Bhajanam Bhaveta Daiva Sanchita Trinuta Karmanashanam Bhaveta Davajendra Sunam Mandala Praveshanam Tada Karishasi Hamam Kripakataksha Bhajanam Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Śrī Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Śrī Radhe, Jaya Vrishabhanandini Radhe Radhe, Vrishabhanandini Radhe Radhe, Vrishabhanandini Radhe Radhe, Vrishabhanandini Radhe Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna. Vrishabhanandini Srimati Radha Thakurani ki jai. No. So I just wanted to share something with you. You know that tune I sometimes was doing in between, like Makeshwari, Kriyeshwari, Swadeshwari, Sureshwari, Triveda Bharatishwari. So I had only heard that previously from Madhavi Tapati, and she was singing that in between pretty much through the whole first tour, 1996, and whenever we had heard her sing it. And she was pretty much the main Kirtaniya, her and her sister Kalimba, for Srila Gurudev on that tour in 1996. And so I asked her about it, and she said, I got that tune from Srila Gurudev. I said, what? She said, yes. He would sing it like that. Maybe there's some variation, but she tried her best to capture that tune and that mood, and she played it with chords. But she said that Gurudev was singing that. And if you listen to some of the older recordings, you would hear him singing that variation on this tune. But during Kartik, even the version I did was different than how Gurudev and the locals would do it. They actually sing it differently. The chord progression I was doing, I didn't realize until more recently that I was pretty much doing it, not the whole thing, but one part of it wrong every time. So Gurudev would say, for example, Munindra Vrinda Vandite Triloka Shoka Harini Prasanna Vatra Pankaje Nikunja Bhuvilasini Vrajendra Bhanu Nandini Vrajendra Sunu Sangate Kada Karishyasi Hamam Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam. So there's some minor variations there that I'm not refined enough to actually properly pick up. So please forgive me for my inadequacies. But somehow Gurudev accepted the way that we were doing it for all of these years. And so that's how it has become set. So I just wanted to share that with you. Also, when we came to this one part, Tadit Suban Champaka Pradipta Gaura Vigrahe, I know that we should be meditating on Srimati Radhika, but since Gurudev is in the forefront of our mind at this point in time, and that's how it should be, because what do I really know of Srimati Radhika? But I know of her through him. I know of her through our Guru Varga. And so as we were singing this line, this prayer, I came to Vichitra Chitra Sancharach Chakora Shabalochane. And I had a very vivid vision of being in New Braj with Srila Gurudev in Badger, California. He said, not Badger. New Braj, same as Braj. And he was giving initiation. So in the evening, after giving initiation, he would call out the names of the new initiates. And there was a paper, and this was your previous name. So someone's name was Victoria or something. And they're like, okay, Victoria, your new name is Vichitra Dasi. And guess who got upset and went into man? Yes, Vichitra Dasi. She was like, she was throwing a fit. And Gurudev saw immediately and he was like, what? And she's like, are you giving him my name? Gurudev's like, oh, wait. We'll give her any other name. Here, Vrindavani. Okay, so he changed the name immediately. She's like, there's so many names you could pick. Why did you have to give my name? Imagine if all of the Sudevis said that. I know like 7 of them. And I've taken a... Huh? She loves all of them. So I've taken a photo of 5 Sudevis all at the same time. But anyhow, so I saw that vision when I said the name Vichitra, and how somehow Gurudev liked to tease her, but she was one of those kind of daughters who was also quite easy to tease. But also somehow, Gurudev also was so careful how to maintain the environment. If one person was out of sorts, he would make sure that they were taken care of before he would continue. And that's very accommodating. Once upon a time, Vichitra Didi's kartals went missing. Dun dun dun. Very, very not good thing. So Gurudev was starting, he was just about to begin his Mangalacharan. And he could just see she was very fidgety and upset. And Gurudev's like, what's going on? She's like, someone took my kartals and I don't know where they are. And Gurudev made an announcement in the microphone. Whoever has Vichitra's kartals, return them immediately. We will not begin until her kartals are returned. Well, didn't matter how many people were there, about 600. Her kartals went doom, 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 and came into her. And she went right into her lap. And then she was like, Gurudev's like, okay now? She's like, okay. And then he started, Gurave Gaura Chandraya, just like that. It was so amazing to see how he was so concerned with each individual. With each individual. And with myself also. Srila Gurudev was doing some kind of little, I could say, game or something, near the end of his presence in this world. And I think it was less than 2 days before he departed. He sent Damodar Maharaj to my room, and Damodar Maharaj was banging on my door. And I opened the door and he said, Gurudev is calling you right now. Go up and see him immediately. So I got ready and I ran upstairs to go see Gurudev. And Gurudev actually said these words, I'm worried that maybe you're upset with me. I said, what? Why? He said, I have not seen you in some days. I said, no, I was here today. I cleaned your floor. I cleaned your bathroom. Every day I'm taking care and cleaning. And he said, oh, I haven't seen you. I said, well, I was here. He said, oh, okay. Like this, but he was concerned because he hadn't seen me for a couple of days. He was sleeping at the times that I was cleaning his room and cleaning his clothes and cleaning the bathroom. And so he took special care. And although some may think, oh, he needed glasses and maybe he wasn't aware there's 1,000 people. Even sometimes Sudevi and Vishaka would sit in the back of the pandal. This was in Varshana. And Gurudev would be looking everywhere. And the moment he would spot them, he would be like, come here. Just like that. He would know one time. Ooh. This wasn't good of us, but anyhow, a great lesson was learned. It was a long parikrama day. We were exhausted. At that time, Gopinath Bhavan wasn't fully built up. Only the first section was really built up, and the rest was kind of a big pandal and covering the construction area. And we decided to stay in our room and hear Harikatha from there, because the window was right there overlooking the pandal and the Harikatha, so we could hear everything clearly through those very, very loud speakers. And so we thought we'll just be here, relax, and listen to Harikatha. At that time, I didn't know how to properly honor when a speaker was speaking, and especially Srila Gurudev. And I still don't know how to fully properly honor, but anyhow. So what happened? we weren't there for the bhajans, and we weren't there when Harikatha started. Sure enough, after a few minutes, I think it was still in the bhajans actually, still in the bhajans. Braj Mandal Prabhu comes banging on the door. Sudevi, Kishori, Vishaka. Gurudev is calling you. And we were like, oh my God, oh no. So we got ready really quick. We went downstairs. I went and assumed my position. Gurudev told me, you should always sit right in front and be ready so that I can use you for kirtan whenever I like. So I just went right to the front, got the keyboard out, and was sitting there ready. Vishaka went up front and sat pretty far up close. And Sudevi stayed in the back. All the way in the back. And then we hear Gurudev ask in the microphone, where is Sudevi? And of course, all of her friends, all of the devotees were like, she's here, Gurudev. He said, stand up. She stood up. All the way in the back. Like, imagine Gopinath Bhavan from where the stage is all the way to where the office is. It's quite far. And I'm going to have to tell this part. She thought he was going to have her hold her ears and do squats. Stand up, sit down, stand up. This is a punishment that you get in India from police officers if you've done something wrong. And Gurudev was a police officer. He was a lieutenant before he joined the Gaudiya Math. So she thought he was going to make her do that. And then he said, come here. So she started going forward a little bit. And then you hear in the mic, obey me, like this. And then he pointed her to sit down, and then he said, sing. And I started playing too high for her, and she was singing, and it was just too high, and then Gurudev was like that. And then finally she eked out that high note. I think, was it Bhajaho Mana Sudevi? Sake kalayam goramudaram. No, right? That goes really high. Whatever, very high. And then finally she hit the note, and then Gurudev was like, he accepted it like that. But then we learned Gurudev is aware if someone is missing. And at that time, we weren't like preaching around the world like that. I think it was 98, 99. It was early on. But still, he was aware of each individual person, what they're doing, what's going on. And he would take care to acknowledge. This was a great speciality of his. How personable and how accessible he was to all of his disciples. Not only to his disciples, even more to the disciples of others, to the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, to the disciples of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, to the disciples of Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj, to the disciples of Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, to the disciples of Bhakti Shri Rup Siddhanti Maharaj, to the disciples of so many others. He was so accessible. He opened his arms and embraced all, that I will help you to the best of my ability. This was a great speciality of his. How much he cared, how much he acknowledged, how much he gave, and how much he recognized. He could see and notice what was going on. And then he would nourish from that perspective. So this is a great beauty of Srila Gurudev's nature. How personable and how accessible he was. He didn't want to be in such a way where he was only surrounded constantly by the, what we call antaranga, the inner group, and then others couldn't be there. One time, where was it? So Srila Gurudev's appearance is coming soon. We will continue to tell many more of these remembrances on his appearance day. Srila Gurudev ki jai. So now, we will sing Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam. Because we're still speaking on this subject since Kartik, we are now in verse 6. Maybe we'll finish by the beginning of next Kartik, and then we'll start it all over again. Because it's ever fresh. So we will light the lamp. Thank you, Janardhan Prabhu. Page 290. Śrī Dāmodara ki jai. Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki jai. Shachinandana Gaur Hari ki jai. Radha Ramana Ju ki jai. Giriraj Mahārāja ki jai. Shalagram Shila ki jai. Laddu Gopal ki jai. Chatta Chatta Laddu Gopal ki jai. Namamishwaram Sachit Anandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodabhiyonukaladhavomanam Param Krishnam Atyantato Drutya Gopya Yudantamuhurneta Yugmam Brijantam Param Bhoja Yugmeno Shatam Kanetam Muhu Shvasa Kampatri Kanka Kantha Sthita Graiva Damodaram Bhaktivedāntam Iti Driksva Līlābhi Ananda Kunde Svaghoshami Majantam Akhyapayantam Padiyeshita Yeshu Bhaktairjitatam Puna Prema Tastam Shatavriti Mande Param Deva Moksham Na Mokshavadhim Va Nochanyam Vrindeham Shadapiha Idam Teva Purnatu Gopal Balam Sadamivanośya Virashtam Kimanyai Idam Te Mukham Bhojam Avyaktanilai Kritam Sridharaktaishcha Gopya Muhushchumbitam Bimbaраktadharam Ye Manasya Virastam Alam Lakshalabhay Namo Devo Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukha Jalabhimagnam Kripa Drishti Vrishtyati Dinam Bhatanu Prayamuchito bhakti bhajo krito cha Tatha prema bhaktin swakamne prayacha Amokshe graho nesti Damodareha Namaste Sudame Spuradipti Dhamme Vadiyodārāyaka Vishvasya Dhamme Namo Radhikāyai Tvadiya Priyāyai Namo Nantalilayo Devaya Tubham 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 Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Damodara Radha Damodara Jai Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Jayo Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Shri Radha Damodar Ju ki Jai Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam ki Jai Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jai हरि हरि बोल श्री गुरुदेव की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय गुरुपाद गौरी गुरुवर्ग की जय पावन श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम शचिनंदन गौर हरि की जय राधा विनो बिहारी जू की जय राधा रमन जू की जय गिरिराज महाराज की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय गौर भक्त वृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namahum Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Namine Namahum Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedānta Swāmini Namine Manchā kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitānaṁ pāvanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vācālam pangam langayate girim Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurung Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times unto the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad, Ashto Tarashata Shri Śrīmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. In the same thousands of Dandavat Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad, Ashto Tarashata Shri Śrīmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Swāmī Śrīla Prabhupada, and to all of our Rupanuga, Gauriya, Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas past, present, and future, including all of you who are present with us today, I offer my Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, dear Vaishnavas. Radhe Radhe, Radhe Shyam.
Radhe Shyam.
Yeah, I did notice it went in and out.
Oh, it's going in and out?
Well, it came up again that it wasn't, but it was like quick, so I left it. It's fine.
So without further ado, we will continue with this beautiful treasure, Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam, manifested from the heart of Śrī Satyavrata Muni, placed in Padma Purana by Ved Vyas. This version is commented on by Śrī Sanātana Gosvāmī. Then our Param Gurudev, Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, has translated that commentary and added his own commentary into it, and that is followed by our Śrīla Gurudev Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Maharaj's commentary. Needless to say, but we will say it anyway, this is a transcendental treasure within a treasure, within a treasure, within a treasure, and so many beautiful treasury compartments are present within it. So many valuable gems are there within this. And before we enter inside of this beautiful treasure to investigate those beautiful gems that it has to offer, we will first pray in the dust of the lotus feet of these divine personalities, in the words of Raghunath Das Goswami, Vairāga Juga Bhaktira Samprayatnar, Apayanan Mam Anubhikshamandam, Kripambudiryapara Dukuduki Sanatanastam Prabhum Ashrayami, begging in the dust of their lotus feet that may even a particle of their moods, which are present within these pages, manifest itself within our hearts. We are continuing with verse 6. That is where Nam Kirtan begins. As our Gurudev was saying yesterday, or as Param Gurudev from Śrī Sanātana Gosvāmī, that now Satyavrata Muni, his desire is increasing so much within his heart that he wants to kiss that face of Krishna, like Mother Yashoda is doing, again and again, kissing that beautiful lotus-like face. And he sees that she's doing that, and he's developing a greed in his heart that I also want to kiss his face like she's kissing his face. And he wants to see also Srimati Radhika kissing his face again and again. That would be a different form of Krishna. The form of Krishna that who is being kissed by Srimati Radhika, that form is Sakshat Manmata. The form of Krishna that is being kissed by Yashoda is baby Krishna, Bal Krishna. And the other one is the Cupid of all Cupids, the supreme Cupid, Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham, that Krishna. So Satyavrata Muni's desire is increasing. It is pulling him forward. His greed is increasing more and more. And then he's come up to this point. How do I attain that? So this prayerful mood starts manifesting in his heart. What can I do to somehow or other attain that goal? Then he starts doing kirtan. Namo Deva Damodarānanta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Duka Jalabdhi Magnam Kripa Drishti Brishyati Dinam Batanu Grihane Shama Magyame Dyakshi Drishya Namamishwaram Satchidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. So now we're continuing with the Digdarshanitika Bhavanubad of Sanatana Gosvāmī, along with our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Mahārāja's bhav injected within it. So yesterday we were discussing how even though any scripture or any verse or any statement by any pure devotee of the Lord may appear to be imperfectly composed, because it is manifesting from the heart of the pure devotee, Krishna fully accepts that. And therefore, it is the most perfect composition. Whereas someone who makes any amazing, beautiful demonstration but has no bhakti, no bhav, no prem in their heart, this is not attractive to Krishna in the slightest. When Krishna went to Hastinapur, there Duryodhana invited him, come for prasadam. We have 1,000 or 10,000 beautiful preparations made, all perfectly prepared, come for dinner. Krishna said, or come for lunch. Krishna said, I am not in the slightest bit hungry, I'm just delivering a message to you. And then he signaled to Vidura, I'm coming to your house. Vidura is a devotee of Krishna. So Vidura went to make preparations at that time, because it is said that there wasn't much available in his home at the time. So he went to make preparations. At that time, Krishna went to the house of Vidura. Who was present there? Vidurani. And as she was offering the bananas to Krishna with love, instead she was giving him the peel. But she was completely unaware, but Krishna was accepting her love and affection and tasting it as if it were the most wonderful thing he has ever eaten. So he refused this perfectly prepared feast of Duryodhana with so many different preparations fit for kings, because there was no love for him, and there was enmity toward Krishna's devotees present within that cooking. It means enmity toward the Pandavas. Why would Krishna want to take that? In the same way that, imagine you were going to any restaurant with your favorite person in the world, or your most beloved person. And they said, oh, welcome, you can come in, but that one, get out. You're never welcome here. Disrespect, spitefulness, and complete rejection. Would you want to sit there and enjoy while the person that you love the most has just been rejected and disrespected? But we do that, don't we? We'll go places where Gurudev is disrespected, where he's not accepted, where he's rejected and spitefully maligned, falsely accused, and we will enjoy there, sit around and laugh and joke. That shows the depth of our affection for that personality. Simply, it means I am voluntarily ignoring you and your presence in my life by enjoying where you yourself are rejected. This is how we are. But Krishna is not like that. If someone goes against his pure devotee, he says, I don't know anyone but my devotee, and they don't know anyone but me. Govinda Kohina Mama Vaishnava Paran. Mama Vaishnava Paran. My devotees are my life and soul. So if someone is against his devotees, is offensive to his devotees, is doing some kind of sadhu ninda, Krishna will go very far from that place. He will stay away. And he will also not look in your direction. As he showed in the pastime of Indraman Vardhan. This is, completely dispelling the anger of Indra, who was trying to destroy all of Vrindavan, all of the Brajabasis, Govardhan Hill, all of the cows, Krishna himself. After when he realized his mistake, I think that is Bhagavan. I think it is God, and I just made a big offense trying to kill all of his friends and family and cows and destroy his Vrindavan. What do I do? Now, Indra was in a very, very great dilemma. What should I do? So he came to try to pacify Krishna by offering prayers to him. Krishna wouldn't even look in his direction. Neglect. Gurudev said Krishna cannot even neglect even one jiva. But here he was neglecting Indra. Imagine the sinking feeling in the heart of Indra at that time. So then Indra took shelter of someone who is near and dear to Krishna. Who? Surabhi. Chintamani prakara sadmasu kalpa vriksha lakshavriteshu surabhir abhipalayantam. All of the cows are like Surabhi. But this is the mother of all cows, the original Surabhi. He took shelter of her. And she saw that because the cow is like the universal mother, she sees, oh, he is my son. And Krishna is also like my son. So they're like brothers. So then she went and petitioned Krishna on behalf of Indra. You're both my children. This one's a naughty boy. Please give him another chance. So on her petition, and then she bathed Krishna in her milk while praying to him on behalf of Indra. Then Krishna glanced in Indra's direction, accepting the prayer of Surabhi. But Krishna also warned Indra, okay, I'll let it go this time, but don't do anything like this ever again, or else let this be a warning. So Indra then did big puja with all of the demigods, and then Krishna's friends started coming close, and all the demigods disappeared, but all of the offering paraphernalia was there. And they were like, what is all this? And Krishna's like, I don't know, chalo, let's go. Let's play. So these things are going on. These things are going on. So we were talking about imperfectly composed. So Satyavrata Muni apparently imperfectly composed this prayer, and yet it is considered perfect. Whereas if the non-devotee perfectly composes something, because it is without affection for Krishna and without affection for his pure devotees, Krishna has no interest in it whatsoever. But if you have nothing, maybe only even a drop of water, or one leaf, or a flower, or a piece of fruit, but you have love and affection, then Krishna will accept that. With bhakti, he will accept that. So it's not about how much or how fancy or how great or whatever kind of show we can make that is attractive to Krishna. It is the amount of devotion. The amount of devotion and the quality of that devotion that is attractive to him. Even in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, there you see Krishna saying, I'm not at all attracted by the prayers of the Vedas, which are made weak or feeble by their assertion of their knowledge of my awesomeness, of my opulence, Aishvarya, Mad Aishvaryam, my majesty. But the chastising words of the Vrajabasis, which are full of love and affection for me, this completely captivates and controls my heart. And Krishna is attracted by love and affection. Like our Srila Gurudev said, he likes one tear more than thousands of words. We can say so many words. Oh, Krishna, you're so great, you're so wonderful, you're the most amazing personality. But if we don't have any feeling in our heart, how is that going to touch him? The first thing to touch the ears of Krishna, Sad Anga Sharanagati Hoibe Jahar Tahar Prarthana Shune Śrī Nanda Kumar. The son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna, in Vrindavan will hear the prayer of that person who is endeavoring to give their heart to him, starting with Sharanagati. Accepting everything that is favorable for bhakti in their life, rejecting everything that is unfavorable for bhakti in their life. It's natural. If you're going to accept everything that's favorable, naturally you will have to avoid everything that is unfavorable. Accepting that Krishna is my only protector, that Krishna is my only maintainer. Surrendering myself in deep humility to Krishna, he will hear this prayer. And from that, he will give benediction. But how will this prayer really be heard? Bhakti must always be under guidance. So seeing my pitiful condition in this world, my desperation in need of help, shunya amara duk, taking shelter of Krishna's pure devotee. Krishna says, whoever says they love me, they're my devotee. Really, they're not really my devotee. But who is the devotee of my devotee? They are my real devotee. Pratamam tu gurum pujam, tadyanam samarchanam, aradhananam sarvesham, vishnur aradhanam param, tasmat paratanam devi tadyanam samarchanam. Lord Shiva is telling to his consort, of all kinds of worship, aradhananam sarvesham, of all kinds of aradhana. The topmost is aradhana or worship of Vishnu. Vishnur aradhanam param. Tasmat. But there's something more. Parataram Devi, what is more than that? Tadiyanam samarchanam. To worship who is near and dear to him is even more. So, then we get it in Śrī Guruvāṣṭakam. What is that? Sakshat hari tvena samashta shastre uktashtatā bhavyata eva sadbhi. All scriptures reveal that Śrī Guru, the pure devotee, is non-different from Krishna directly. Sakshat hari tvena. But there's a speciality. And again, the word but is used. Kintu. But. Prabhurya priya eva tasya. This is a special form of Krishna, not in the enjoying aspect, but in the serving aspect. He is very near and dear to Krishna. Kintu prabhurya priya eva tasya. He is prabhurya priya. He is very near and dear to Krishna. Unto this personality, I offer my humble obeisances. Bande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. I am taking shelter of his lotus feet. And then Krishna himself says, first of all, you must worship Guru. Shri Guru. Pratamam tu Gurum Pujam. Not worship. Not like incense and fire and a garland. Or when we were little, we used to see them give garlands of $100 bills to the gurus. We were like, whoa! All folded up really nicely with, flaring out. Not like that. Worship, real Guru Puja, Srila Gurudev means to collect all of everything that I have attachment to and offer that exclusively by mind, body, and words at the feet of Shri Guru. Kintu prabhurya priya eva. Where was I again? Pratamam tu gurum pujam. First of all, you worship Guru. Then I will accept all of your worship. Why? Because Guru is the medium by which one's love and affection and service is transmitted to Krishna. And that goes all the way to Srimati Radhika, who is the medium by which Krishna experiences love and affection. That is Hladini Shakti. So, here our Param Gurudev and Śrī Sanātana Gosvāmī are asserting that Satyavrata Muni apparently made some mistake, but they have brought it down to somehow he left it out either because of apprehension, reverence, or because he simply lost control of himself. Now we know that already he's coming to this point of raga anuga bhakti, spontaneous loving attraction and emotion. So how would he back up again to awe and reverence? He's already gone beyond that. So here, or simply because he lost control of himself due to the prema arising within his heart. Consequently, he was unable to address Sri Bhagavan so directly. He lost control. This is the nature also of the pure devotees. Due to prem, intense prem, they become confused. Prem unmada, some kind of transcendental divine madness appears. And they might externally make some mistake, but that mistake is endearing to Krishna because he sees it as a manifestation of divine love. So it is very attractive to him. Easy example would be how any parent will see their young child for the first time trying to walk. How excited do parents get? the first time their child stands up and starts to walk. And maybe they fall over, but anyhow, they took their first steps. And then they did their first drawing, and they give it with so much excitement. Look what I've done for you. That is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It is endearing because they're making that endeavor to serve with affection. Krishna also accepts it like that. How sweet, how wonderful. If someone was really expert but they had no affection for you and they do some drawing and they hand it to you, it's like nice, but it doesn't really have much meaning. But that child, for its first time, making that endeavor and presenting it, look what I've done for you. It's a scribble on a paper, but it's with affection. And the more important point is you also have affection for that child. That creates that relationship by which the heart is melted. So Krishna also has this mood toward those who have love and affection for him, his devotees. He has a special kind of place, a special place in his heart. It is known as Bhaktivedānta. So much affection for his devotees. And so even if there's apparently some mistake or improper whatever, because their intention is exclusive, one-pointed out of love and affection for him, he is completely melted by it, and it controls him and attracts his heart. I've got to see this here. So, Śrī Satyavrata Muni addresses his Lord, O Prabhu, my Master, O Ishvara, O Supreme Controller. He next says, Prasida, be pleased with me. In other words, he explains what gracious favor he seeks from his Lord. If his Lord is pleased with him, Prasida, the reason he seeks the favor of his Lord is described in the words Dukha Jalabdhi or Jalabdhi Magnam. Śrī Satyavrata Muni says, I am drowning, Magna, in an unbroken series of miseries. We also say this to Gurudev in that bhajan, Gurudev kripa karke mujhko apna lena. Mere nao bhavar dole use par laga dena. My boat has been caught in a whirlpool and I don't see any way to escape. Also, I believe it was, is it Narottam Das Thakur? Bhaktivedānta Thakur. Anadi karma phale tori bhavan nabajale tori bare na dekhi upai. In there it's saying that I am drowning in an ocean. E vishaya hala hale divanishi hiya jole manakabhu sukha nahi pai. I'm drowning in an ocean and I don't see any way, any relief from this situation. So many sharks and alligators are coming and attacking me. Then he says, at a certain point, I don't have anyone else. At this time, you are my only friend. Eheno samaya bandhu, tumi Krishna kripa sindhu. Kripa kori, tore mane bole. If you hear our Srila Prabhupada singing this, maybe Jiva Pavana Prabhu, you can post a link to it so the devotees can listen to it. Even now, you don't have to listen to me if you can listen to him. But when he is singing this, you can hear his voice choking up and his heart is shaking. When he's singing this, at this time, you are my only friend. Eheno samaya bandhu, tumi Krishna kripa sindhu. I'm taking shelter of you. Please give me your mercy. You're my only friend at such a time. So they're praying with this kind of mood, and Satyavrata Muni is saying the same thing. I'm drowning in an ocean of unbroken series of miseries. The miseries, or dukh, described here, may be considered either the miseries born of material existence in the form of repeated birth and death, or else the suffering he feels for not being able to see his Lord. That is a different kind of suffering. Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravrishaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahiname. One moment of separation from you, O Govinda, feels like millions of yugas. Yugaitam nimeshena. We say millions of years, or 12 years or more. And that's one translation. But here it says yugayitam nimeshena. And the entire universe. Shunyayitam jagat sarvam. Sarvam means all. Jagat means the entire creation. Shunyayitam means feels empty or vacant or without anything. Govinda virahename, in separation from Govinda. So here, they're giving this other possible definition. Or else, the suffering he feels by not being able to see his Lord. Such miseries are boundless and are therefore compared to an ocean. He says, Ati dinam, tormented by such incessant misery, I am suffering greatly. Therefore be pleased with me. Śrī Sanātana Gosvāmī now illuminates further meanings of Ati dinam. Śrī Satyavrata Muni also indicates, because I am deprived of the support of saintly association, I cannot perform sadhana bhajan. I therefore remain extremely wretched and destitute. Remember yesterday and previously we've spoken, what is the nature of those who have prem, real prem? To the degree that one loves Krishna, to the degree that their prem is fully devoted to the feet of Krishna, to that degree they will feel humility. So, question here. Of all of Krishna's transcendental associates, which one is the most humble? Which one feels themselves the most incapable of fully or properly serving Krishna? Based on what I just told you, that person who has the most love for Krishna feels the most humility. First person to get this one right will get pineapple upside down cake. Ha! Hari Priyadasi ki jai. That's right. Srimati Radhika. Also, very good. Vaishnava ta e saralata. Simplicity is synonymous with Vaishnavism, but prem is synonymous with humility. To the degree that one's prem is increasing, to that degree their humility will be increasing. Humility, real humility, is not any product of anything other than the transcendental. I call it paramartic humility, because it's not something that we can create. It is the natural effect of the awakening of prem, that one is feeling themselves low. So as one is actually truly progressing, they will feel themselves less and less capable. Even Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, whenever he's about to glorify any divine transcendental personality, practically curses himself for the audacity of endeavoring to glorify any transcendental personality whose glories are unlimited. What capacity do I have to do such a thing? And who am I to even think that I can glorify such a personality? He said, I'm like a worm in stool. This is how he's feeling about himself. I have nothing, but yet for my own benefit and for the benefit of others, I must make this endeavor on the order of my superiors. And then he also acknowledges that Ananta Shesha, this is Baladev Tattva, with his unlimited hoods for all time has been endeavoring to glorify Krishna forever. And even he feels completely incapable of even scratching the surface of the glories, the unlimited glories of Krishna. So this is really the definition of the more you know that you don't know. Can you translate that into Italian? The more you know, the more you realize, actually, I don't know anything. When one is in a lower stage, our Srila Gurudev used to make the example of any child who goes to school on the first day and he learns how to write A, B, C, and then maybe C-A-T, cat, D-O-G, dog. And then he comes home and he thinks I know everything. And he's telling his parents, I know everything. I know how to spell cat. I know how to spell dog. And look, I can write ABC. And Gurudev would start laughing and laughing. That this is how we are. We learn a little bit about bhakti and some tattva siddhanta and a little, this kata and that kata. And we think, oh, I know so much like this. But really, if that is unlimited, and it is also unlimitedly deep, and it is forever giving new and ever fresh meanings, then what do I really know? To the extent that I think that I am the knower, to that extent you can say my ahankar, my false ego is, and it's very easy to pop the bubble of false ego. I'm sure many of us have experienced it from time to time. Oh, I know this much, or I'm so strong, I'm like this, I'm like that, and boop, one little pin, and that bubble pops. So it's very easy to pop that bubble of false ego. But the nature of the pure devotee is that they're feeling themselves very, very lowly. And from that feeling of lowliness, they can actually call out with a heart full of sincerity. If one is feeling so high and mighty and tall, then what kind of prayerful mood can they have? What do I need to pray for? I'm doing well. But those personalities who are actually doing well, they feel themselves very deen and heen, meek and low and fallen. So here Satyavrata Muni he's feeling that deprived of the support of saintly association, I cannot perform sadhana bhajan. I therefore remain extremely wretched and destitute. Or, although I am somehow still alive, I am nearly dead because of my intense hankering to see you. I have no idea how to alleviate such incessant suffering. Well, both of these ideas are there. Therefore, he continues, Kripa drishti. Please, cast upon me your uninterrupted, compassionate glance, which is like a downpour of nectar. In this way, revive me by completely delivering me from this ocean of misery. With the words, Edyakshidrishya, the sage explains exactly what gracious favor he seeks from his master. He prays, please become directly visible to my eyes. Now we should understand that the Supreme Lord is not directly visible as he is to the eyes made of matter. Therefore, he even told Arjuna, I now give you divine eyes. Although Arjuna was able to see him, and we're also able to see this form. But that form of Krishna Shyamasundar is not seen by material eyes. He is seen through the eyes of love and affection. Prem anjana churita bhakti vilochanena, saturated with love and devotion. He is seen by those eyes which are smeared with the salve of love and affection. As he tells Arjuna, only by undivided love and affection, bhakti tvananyaya, without anything else, ananya, exclusive, one-pointed bhakti, can I be seen or known as I am in truth standing before you. Only by that, not by any means. Otherwise, he can reserve the right to be seen or not seen by anyone, according to his will. But by love and affection, he can be seen. So, revive me by completely delivering me from this ocean of misery. Now he's saying, please become directly visible to my eyes. So just like we heard about Gop Kumar as he was moving forward, and he desired also to see, we should understand that the seeing with the eyes is not seeing with material eyes, but is seeing with divine eyes, or seeing with the eyes of the soul. Since there is nothing more rarely achieved than direct darshan of Sri Krishna, it would not have been appropriate for Śrī Satyavrata Muni to request it at the very beginning of his prayers. This is the reason for the sequence of his prayers. Now we have an annotation. What's the time? Let's see. Page 139 is the annotation. We have to read the annotations. Ooh, that's a long one. Okay, so that's annotation 2. This is just a short one. Editor's footnote, adapted from the Bengali edition. In the first and second verse, Śrī Satyavrata Muni offers pranam to Śrī Dāmodara, who is controlled by the prema of his devotees. In the third verse, he offers repeated prayers unto him. In the fourth and fifth verses, he condemns all of the goals of life, beginning with moksha, that is liberation, freedom from suffering or freedom from dualities of this material world, and prays for the Bal Gopal form, baby Gopal form, of Krishna to forever manifest within his heart. Only now, in the sixth verse, is he praying for direct darshan of Bhagavan. So before he's praying for him to manifest in his heart, now he's praying for direct darshan. Edhi akshi drishya. Akshi means with the eyes. Aksha means eyes. Dalaya taksham. Venung vanantam arabinda. Lotus. Dalaya taksham. Aksha means eyes. Hiranya aksha. Hiranya aksha means whose eyes are always greedy for gold. Hiranya means gold. Kamalaksha. This is also a name for Advaita Acharya. Kamala, lotus. Aksha, eyes. He has lotus-like eyes. So here, Akshi Drishya. Drishya means to see. So he wants to see directly with his eyes. Only now, in the sixth verse, is he praying for direct darshan of Bhagavan. The sequence of prayers in this verse is as follows. Prasida, kindly, be pleased with me. Anugrihana, by the shower of your compassionate glance upon me. Completely deliver me from the ocean of sufferings. And Akshi Drishya Edhi, please become visible to my eyes. Śrī Satyavrata Muni ki jai. Śrī Sanātana Gosvāmī par ki jai. Param Gurudev Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Mahārāja ki jai. Śrīla Gurudev ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. I haven't looked back to see if there were any questions. Okay. Just checking. Okay, just comments. Check. Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gaura Hari 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 Jai Gurudev 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 Jai गिरिराज महाराज की जय। हरे नाम संकीर्तन की जय। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे गोविंद नरमाधवेति Thank you all very much for being with us today and giving us the opportunity to remember the beautiful teachings of our Gurudev and our Guru Varga. Also, we feel extremely indebted to each and every one of you for daily giving us the opportunity to do our Guru Seva, which is our life and soul. We cannot repay you for that. We look forward to being with all of you tomorrow. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Dandavat Pranam.
Hari Ju ki
Jai.
Shachinandana Gaura Hari
Ki Jai. Jivariya